Now if you work the stars and waves stitch with one row only, you get a quite similar pattern, but without the stars. So there's one preparation row. I start with a new color, which is a little different, and 4 turning chains, so a half motif at the beginning, 1 double crochet into the very first stitch, chain 3, and work our 5 clustered double crochets into the next gap, into the next gap, into the middle single crochet, into the next gap, and into the next gap. Close it, and work chain 2, and now again, now we have an upper motif, so 1 double crochet into the next gap, into the next double crochet, work 3 times 1 double crochet plus chain 1, and 1 double crochet into the next gap. Now chain 2, chain 1 or 2, so I work a chain 2, and again 5 clustered double crochets, next gap, middle single crochet, next gap, so 5 clustered double crochets, chain 2, and on top of the next motif into the next gap, 1 double crochet plus chain 1, into the next double crochet 3 times double crochet plus chain 1, into the next gap 1 more double crochet and chain 2, and again 5 clustered double crochets. The middle one into the middle single crochet, and the others into the gaps around. Close it and chain 2, into the next gap 1 double crochet and chain 1, into the next double crochet 3 times 1 double crochet plus chain 1, and 1 more double crochet into the next gap plus chain 2, 5 clustered double crochets again, like we did before, close and chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next gap and chain 1, 3 times 1 double crochet plus chain 1 into the next double crochet, 1 more double crochet into the next gap and chain 2, 5 clustered double crochets, chain 2 and half a motif at the end of the row, 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet into the same stitch. So and now comes the pattern row. This was a preparation row. Now I change the color and you work the actual pattern row. Now the small difference is there are no 3 single crochets anymore to work in. It's a little different, but only a little. So 4 turning chains with the new color and 1 double crochet into the very first stitch. This is half a motif at the beginning. Chain 2, and now we don't have those 3 single crochets, so our 5 clustered double crochets are worked into the first gap, the second gap, the third double crochet is worked in the tip of the next motif of the previous row. The next one in the gap after. I'm just checking if I'm doing the right stitches. Yes, it's correct. And the 5th one in the next gap. Now finish and chain 2. Now the next top motif will be worked. 1 double crochet into the next gap, chain 1, and into the following double crochet 3 times double crochet plus chain 1. One double crochet into the next gap and chain 2, and again 5 clustered double crochets into the next gap, into the gap before the tip of the next motif, into the tip of the next motif, into the gap after the tip, and into the next gap. Finish and chain 2. And 1 double crochet plus chain 1 into the next gap, into the next double crochet, work 3 times 1 double crochet plus chain 1, and 1 double crochet into the next gap and chain 2. 5 clustered double crochets into the next gap, into the next gap, into the tip of the next motif, into the next gap, and into the next gap. Finish and chain 2. 1 double crochet into the next gap, chain 1, 3 times 1 double crochet plus chain 1 into the next double crochet, plus 1 more double crochet into the next gap plus chain 2. So you see it's a wavy zigzag stitch minus the stars. And another 5 clustered double crochets like we did before. And chain 2, and 1 double crochet plus chain 1, and 3 times 1 double crochet plus chain 1, and 1 more double crochet plus chain 2. 5 clustered double crochets, and chain 2, and half a motif at the end, so 1 double crochet, chain 1 plus another double crochet. So, and now you only repeat this last row in different colors. So you see the stars disappear a little, so it's more a wavy stitch, but very beautiful too. Enjoy!